I need to get a better chair. Hello everyone, welcome to Channel 2S and welcome to Gunpla News. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and as you can see, the Gion Krieger is built up before you, and I do like this kit quite a lot, but unfortunately I won't be able to review it right away. I got some other stuff planned first. Let's talk about Gunpla News. So currently the newest thing that just dropped is this magazine scan of a new Gundam SD line called Cross Silhouette. Now the gimmick of this line appears to be that you can adjust the height of the Gundam. So it looks like they have two different frames, one of which makes them a more traditional chibi SD, and another one that gives them slightly more lanky proportions, kind of similar to what you see with the Next Edge figures. I think this is an interesting idea, and they've got a pretty solid roster for the start of the line. They've got the RX-78, because of course you gotta have your RX-78 at the start of everything. They have the Nightingale, which is definitely a surprise, and the Crossbone Gundam, which is always awesome to see. But what has me really, and I mean really interested about these scans, is the bottom left corner. Just barely able to be made out on the bottom of the screen is a Master Grade logo and text next to it that, as far as I can tell, says Master Grade Gundam F91. Now, I'm going to need to give you guys a little backstory so you understand why this is awesome. While I was on break from Gundam News, Gundam Base Tokyo had basically the coolest Next Phase project exhibit ever. Now, I haven't gone back and talked about it because a lot of the kits that were like the biggest, hypest things there have already been confirmed, namely the Wheel Grade Togis and the High Grade Leo. But one of the other really cool kits they had there was a prototype for the Master Grade F91 2.0. Now, at the time, it wasn't confirmed, so it was kind of up in the air as to whether or not this would actually get released. But with it potentially showing up in this month's hobby magazine, I'd say it's all but confirmed. There's also a Re-100 logo down there next to it that is more than likely the Vigna Gina. We got a teaser for that last year, and then at that same Next Phase project exhibit, we saw some more prototype images. I realize now that I've never actually shown you those images because, again, that was when I was on break, so here you go. Showing them to you right now. It's an awesome looking kit. I love the detail. I love the posability on the backpack, and I am 100% going to get one. This is going to be a really awesome year for Gundam F91 fans. Now the next thing we're going to talk about today is a little less cool. So all of you out there are probably familiar with the Master Grade Hazel, aka one of the most baffling decisions the Premium Bandai web shop has ever made. It uses the frame from the Master Grade Mark II 2.0, but everything else is brand new. And of course it got some people upset, understandably, and then they made another version of it that I believe is coming out fairly soon, which is a Titans Colors version of the same thing, just a straight recolor. And now they've announced, coming in May, another Master Grade Hazel, and it's still p-bandai. This time it's the Advanced Hazel. It's got a ton of new equipment. I feel so conflicted on this because on one hand it's p-bandai and this should not be p-bandai, but on the other hand this looks so freaking cool. I really do like the Advanced Hazel. Out of the ones they've made high grades of, which are admittedly the only Hazels I'm familiar with, this is my favorite, and the Master Grade really brings it to life. The subarms on the front skirts do work. You can fold out the arms and attach weapons into them, and the sensor attachment on his head actually opens up. That's something really cool that I don't believe you could do with the high grade. Yeah, I might have to get this one. Also teased but not shown was a Master Grade Harududu? Harududu, yeah. The Harududu is a add-on for, I believe, just the normal white Hazel that gives it some extra weapons and stuff. I'm going to throw a picture of it up on screen because it's not really a part of the Gundam lore that I'm familiar with. And we're finally seeing a proper model kit of it. Unfortunately, though, it is, of course, p-bandai. Hey, are you tired of hearing about p-bandai kits? Well, too bad, because here's another one, Master Grade Origin Heavy Gundam. We saw the Gundam FSD, and of course, with every new Origin kit that comes out that looks kind of cool, Bandai makes a really cool looking premium version. The Heavy Gundam is the FSD, but cranked up to the extreme with the new torso parts, new shoulder parts, and a massive, massive arm cannon. There's probably some other new stuff on here that I'm missing as well. I am seeing a new shoulder cannon, but in general, this just looks like a pretty beefed up version of the FSD. I will admit that it's not really my style. I do actually prefer the normal FSD, but it's still a pretty great looking kit, and I know at least a few people out there are going to be really hyped to see this. We're reaching the end of February, so we have official images for one of the final Build Fighters kits, the Build Strike Galaxy Cosmos. You've seen quite a bit of this kit before, but now we finally have actual box pictures because I believe if this kit isn't out already, it's going to be out within the next few days. Now the backpack itself isn't really my cup of tea. I'm not a fan of how busy it looks, but it's still a pretty awesome kit for the Build Fighters fans out there. And of course, in true Build Fighters fashion, we are getting a separate release for the backpack called the Galaxy Booster. Next, we have some finalized images for the Real Grade Unicorn Gundam Band Destiny version. This is another one that kind of got lost in the abyss when I was absent. It's a Unicorn Gundam with a white Banshee Norn shield. It's based off the banned SNA manga, and it's ultimately pretty inconsequential, which is why it's being made as a limited edition kit. And what that means is that this is going to be a normal retail kit released everywhere in the world. They're just not going to make like a lot of them. I would imagine they're just making one production run and that's going to be the end of it, although I don't have exact numbers. Here we got box art for another February kit that actually kind of slipped under my radar, the Gun Cannon Detector. Now this is a RE100, so of course I'm pretty excited for this, and I gotta say the box art looks awesome. We've gotten some in-hand pictures of this thanks to a few early reviews as well, and yeah, it looks like a pretty great kit. Alongside the Unicorn Gundam banned SNA version this month, we're getting the Banshee Norn. This one just, I believe, came out today, so of course we got box art for it. As with the Unicorn Gundam, there's like a premium version that's got just the Unicorn mode box art. It's really not that interesting looking to me. If you're into that kind of limited edition thing and you want to get yourself a special Banshee Norn that's actually no different from the normal one, and you just want that sweet, sweet premium box art, of course you can get this version. Or you can do what I'm most likely going to do and just get the normal one because Destroy Mode Banshee is best Banshee. There's some official images to go with it as well, but really there's not much to see here. It's the Banshee Norn. It's a black unicorn with some new equipment. Here we have some unpainted pictures of the loheng-rinko. I really don't know how to say the name of this thing, but it's the ship from Gundam Seed combined with Sei's mom from Build Fighters, because that's something we needed apparently. This is another one of those kits that was announced during my absence. I didn't really talk about it much after I came back, since I know you guys aren't that into the Mecha Musume kits so much as you are into like the normal Gunpla, but it still looks pretty cool. You know, unpainted, it looks decent, and if there weren't a bunch of other really cool kits coming out right now, I might even have pre-ordered it. Oh boy, I hope you're ready for more p-bandai kits. You know, the more I think about it, it's actually pretty appropriate that I have the Krieger in my light box right now, because there's a lot of p-bandai kits this episode. This one is the Advanced Jinx. No, not the Master Grade, the High Grade. I believe this is a pretty monumental kit, since this, as far as I know, is the first proper premium Bandai Gundam 00 high grade we've ever gotten. Unless the 007 Sword Inspection colors and 1.5 Dark were premium Bandai. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, this kit's coming out. It looks pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's using the high-grade Jinx mold, which, as some of you know if you've been seeing some of the recent kits we've gotten based off of the Jinx, is a bit hit or miss. It's not the best thing we got out of 00, but it's still pretty cool to see this kit at the 1/144th scale. Also premium Bandai, and closing out the Efreet trifecta, is the Efreet Nacht. The Efreets always look like a ninja, but the Nacht just takes it up to the extreme with a katana in sheath and 4 kunai. It's dark, it's edgy, it's gloomy, and it's pretty darn awesome. So before we wrap things up here, let's take a look at the box art for the Gundam Build Divers kits. Yes, we have box art for them. It's usually not done this early, but hey, I'm not complaining. Now, the box style for these kits is very interesting. It is very kid-friendly looking, which I suppose is understandable since this is a very kid-oriented show. It's very bright, it's very colorful, it's sparkly, and the artwork itself has a bit of a CGI look to it, which I suppose makes sense since the whole game is supposed to take place in a virtual reality world. I think out of all of these, my favorite box is the GRIMOIRE Red Beret. Dynamic, eye-catching, good composition, it's got everything I like. Although I would say that the OGRE Jinx's box art probably comes in as a close second for me. Beyond that, we have some pictures of the build custom sets for Build Divers as well. So here's the Diver Gear, which is kind of a new display base they're using. It has the same armature as the Action Base 5, but an all-new base plate that appears to be somewhat modular, so I'm really interested to see how that pans out. Then we got some other sets like the Tilt Rotor Pack that I've already pre-ordered because I love everything about it. Then we got the Diver Ace unit as well, and the Momo Kara guy, because apparently we just can't get rid of the bear guys. So that's all the new Gunpla news for tonight. But if you want, you can stick around because I'm going to talk very quickly about some of the kits that were announced during my absence, since the more I do these videos, the more I realize that I really do have to just talk about them eventually. So I'm just going to run through them really quick. Master Grade Deep Striker, Master Grade number 201, biggest Master Grade ever made, absolute monster, $200 kit, coming out in March. I had one pre-ordered, then I canceled the pre-order so I could buy Build Divers kits. High-grade Gundam Pixie, shown as a prototype but not confirmed. High-grade Goof Flight Type, shown as a prototype, not confirmed. High-grade Biolant, shown as a prototype, not confirmed. High-grade ACT-ZAKU MSV colors. It's a more MSV faithful modification of the Cassilia Forces ACT-ZAKU, and just like everything else cool from Origin, it's p-bandai. And finally, here's some very, very grainy box art for the Astray Turn Red. I can't remember if that's everything that happened while I was gone, but that's at least all the major stuff out of the way. So thanks for watching this episode of Gunpla News, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like. If you're new, subscribe. And now I gotta go shoot another video for the weekend, so I'll see you guys next time, and cross my fingers and hope that nothing awesome drops between me recording this and me uploading it. Take care, guys.